Excited about this teaching. You can turn to Exodus chapter 3. Exodus chapter 3. The name of my teaching is He Will Become What He Will Become. We seem to have turned a corner in our national outlook, with a good man now in the office of the presidency of the United States and his determination to take his people out of the mouth of the lions that have been devouring them for decades and return our country to its true owners. Here's a question. To whom do we owe our allegiance? Is it to this wonderful man, to the vision he has for America? There's a story in the scriptures of another man, a man who sought to deliver God's people from their oppressors, and he too failed at his first attempt. But years later, he returned with God's help, and this time he was successful. And of course, I'm talking about Moses. So here in Exodus chapter 3, we're going to start in verse 9. This is God talking to Moses. Now therefore, behold, the cry of the children of Israel has come unto me. I have also seen the oppression wherewith the Egyptians oppressed them. Now, when I read these things, I think of how God does for us. One of the things God sees all that stuff, doesn't he? It says, come now, therefore, and I will send thee unto Pharaoh, that thou mayest bring forth my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt. And Moses said unto God, who am I, that I should go unto Pharaoh, that I should bring forth the children of Israel out of Egypt? And he said, certainly I will be with thee, and this shall be a token unto thee, that I have sent thee. When thou hast brought forth the people out of Egypt, ye shall serve God upon this mountain. And Moses said to God, behold, when I come to the children of Israel, and shall say unto them, the God of your fathers hath sent me to you, and they shall say to me, what is his name? What shall I say to them? The Israelites had been forced into slavery, and part of their servitude involved making bricks and other tasks to build the temples of the Egyptian gods. And the Egyptians had many, many gods, a god for everything. You have an illness, there's a god for that. You lose something, there's a god for that. Going on a journey, there's a god for that. That sounds familiar. Planting crops and looking for a harvest, there's a god for that. See, that was the culture that the Israelites were living in. Moses had escaped that culture years before, but he was aware of where their hearts and their thinking were. So he asked God, behold, when I come to the children of Israel and shall say to them, the God of your fathers hath sent me unto you, and they shall say to me, what is his name? What shall I say unto them? They were familiar with the gods of the Egyptians. Which one was he? And God said unto Moses, I am that I am. And he said, thus shalt thou say to the children of Israel, I am hath sent me unto you. I am that I am. This must be one of the worst translations in history. God was not saying, I am what I am, and all of you must bow to me. That's pagan philosophy. That's not Judaism. This translation originated with the Septuagint, which was done in the 2nd century BC by men that were heavily influenced by Greek philosophy, in that philosophy, God is perfect and created everything perfect. And so he doesn't have to do anything but just be. In fact, he cannot do anything because to actually do something would be to admit that he didn't do things right the first time. So a better translation of this would be, I will become what I will become. The Egyptians, the other nations of that day, they had a God for everything. God was saying, I'm the only God you will ever need. Whatever you need, I will be for you. Go to Genesis chapter 1. Our God is and always has been very involved with his people, at least as involved as they would allow. The vision we may have been taught as kids that God sits up in heaven and watches everyone and throws lightning bolts and curses at what he does not approve of, that's right out of pagan philosophy. It has nothing to do with the God of Abraham and Isaac and Jacob, nothing to do with the God of Moses and Samson and David, nothing to do with the God of our Lord Jesus Christ, which is our God today. He will always become just what we need. Here in Genesis 1:1, says, in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth, And the earth was or became without form and void, and darkness upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. Does that sound like a God that just sits and watches from heaven? The Spirit of God moved on the face of the waters. And God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. Go to Deuteronomy 32. Before Moses died, God gave him a song for him to sing to Israel as a witness of God's goodness and of their treachery, for he saw they would turn against him. This song was included in the book of Deuteronomy, which is the last book of Moses. So Moses finished Deuteronomy and had the scrolls of his 5 books put in the Ark of the Covenant. And then he delivered the words of this song in the ears of all the people. As I read it, remember this God that called Moses and worked with the children of Israel is the same God we worship today. He's the same God. Deuteronomy 32, verse 1. Give ear, O ye heavens, and I will speak, and hear, O earth, the words of my mouth. My doctrine shall drop as the rain, and my speech shall distill as the dew, as the small rain upon the tender herb, and as the showers upon the grass. Because I will publish the name of the Lord, ascribe ye greatness to our God. He is the rock, his work is perfect, for all his ways are judgment. A God of truth and without iniquity, just and right is he. Go to verse 7. Remember the days of old, consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, and he will show thee, thy elders, and they will tell thee. When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. For the Lord's portion is his people. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance. He found him in a desert land and in the waste-howling wilderness. He led him about. He instructed him. He kept him as the apple of his eye. As an eagle stirreth up her nest, fluttereth over her young, spreadeth abroad her wings, taketh them, beareth them on her wings. So the Lord alone did lead him, and there is no strange God with him. He made him to ride on the high places of the earth, that he might eat the increase of the fields. And he made him to suck honey out of the rock, and oil out of the flinty rock, butter of kine and milk of sheep, with fat of lambs and rams of the breed of Bashan, and goats, with the fat of kidneys of wheat, and thou did drink the pure blood of the grape. And in the scriptures there are what is termed the 7 redemptive names of God, like the Lord that healeth thee, the Lord our banner, the Lord our sanctification, and so forth. John Nessel has documented over 100 of these in one of his classes. So how did God get those names? Go to Exodus 17, for example. Here the Israelites were warring against Amalek. Exodus 17, verse 11. And it came to pass when Moses held up his hand that Israel prevailed. And when he let down his hand, Amalek prevailed. But Moses' hands were heavy. And they took a stone and put it under him, and he sat thereon. And Aaron and Hur stayed up his hands, the one on one side and the other on the other side. And his hands were steady until the going down of the sun. And Joshua discomfited Amalek and his people with the edge of the sword. And the Lord said unto Moses, write this for a memorial in a book, and rehearse it in the ears of Joshua. For I will utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven. And Moses built an altar and called the name of it Jehovah Nissi, which is the Lord our banner, or standard, referring to the banner or flag an army would carry into battle. The Lord was their standard, their banner. He became that when they needed him. In Psalm 27, David wrote, the Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He didn't say he's our shepherd. He said, the Lord's my shepherd. Pretty individual, isn't it? Our God is a personal God. Besides sending Jesus to redeem us and being born again and heaven bound, we all share that. But there's also much he does for each of us individually. What are the things God is to you? I'd like to hear some of that tonight. one of the things God is for me, He is my partner in prayer. I have a prayer list of people I pray for every day, but my prayers are not my words because I pray by the Spirit. So those words come from God. He's my partner in prayer. Not my prayer partner, but he's my partner in prayer. Sure is. So now it's your turn. We'd like to hear what God is for you. I'll give you a minute to think about it, and when you are ready to share, raise your hand. Okay, Wendy.
God is my counselor. So if I've got a problem or a question or something that I need to get counsel on, I go to God and ask God for counsel, for answers.
Well, that's great. Deborah?
God is my constant companion.
That's right. Great. Lisa?
He is my father and my comforter.
Great. Charlie? Go ahead, Charlie.
Yeah.
I had to unmute.
Yeah, for sure he is our guide and protector. And we don't have any fear about what goes on out in the world or anywhere. We know that we've always got his protection, and that's a great feeling.
Rosemary?
God's my safe place.
All right. Cher? I think Cher had her hand up first.
God's my sufficiency. He always makes sure that I know that everything's covered that I need.
George? You're muted, George.
And God is my answer.
That's right. Good. Rita?
God is my wisdom and my provider.
Cool. Kevin, you had something, right?
Yeah. God is my standard. It's who I look to see where I'm above or below the level of what I need to be.
Yeah. Isn't that great that God is all these things for us? And, so it's just great having that God and that we can trust him always. Like he tells us in manifestations all the time. He's always there. We can just always trust him. So God bless you. Anybody else have anything else they'd like to share?
God is my provider.
All
There
right.
you go.
Great.
Well, that's a big one.
Yeah.
And protector.
Yeah.
Prayer answerer.
Miracle
Rita?
worker.
Prayer answerer.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So many things.
He's the one who hears, isn't he?
Yeah.
There
Right.
is.
Our reason for life.
Mm-hmm.
When I was little and I didn't know anything, he was my friend.
Oh,
Sweet.
that's sweet.
Okay.
I love that you explained I will be what I will be, and it really means I will become what I will become, whatever they need him to be. That makes so much more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was neat too what you shared, Dan, about the gods, that Egypt had, they had a god for everything, the measles, the trees, the birds, whatever it was.
Mhm.
But, they had to have a god for a specific, where, God says, I'm all encompassing, whatever it is you need, I'm it. I'm the number one. I'm the only one you'll ever need. That was interesting little background there.
Yeah. So it makes it all fit.
Yeah, it really more so. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah, because we need different things daily, weekly, monthly, different chapters of our lives. And we need him to be the God that we need him to be in that moment, in that need. So yeah, it is interesting to think about it like that, Dan.
You know, I grew up in a religion where it looked like the more I knew, the less I was going to be able to be what I needed to be for God. And it seemed like everybody had a different thing that we had to do to please our God. And when it started realizing that God wanted to be the one that was everything for us, it was really a paradigm shift. And still sometimes I fall back into that thinking, am I doing what I have to do? And again, the standard is that God wants to be for us whatever we need. He wants to be the supplier. It's a great comfort to know that we're in that position, that he loves us that much.
If he sees if there's something we need, we know we have a need, like a shortcoming in an area, we really need help in an area, and we can go to God and say, hey, I need your help with this. What do I need to do? And he'll supply that. He'll be there. He can do. I mean, he's God. He can do whatever. So that's pretty mind blowing, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just like to talk about things that God's created and talk about nature with him and how beautiful he set things in motion. And we have some great conversations. God will show me things. You see that little bug over there? No, I didn't see that. Oh, that is pretty cool. Yeah, that I made that way back then, way back a long time ago. You say, well, you're just an incredible creator, God. I just like looking around. I hate it when I go outdoors and I never have my camera with me because there's always something to take a picture of. There's something moving out there and there's something really cool. And it's like, wow, thanks, God. I've been wanting to see one of them for a while.
God's handiwork.
We've identified almost 36 different types of butterflies in this yard. I've never seen so many kinds of butterflies in one place. And that's where the name Charita Butterfly Garden came from.
Yeah, God is a master painter, isn't he?
So many times I'd be out there and I'd be like, okay, I got my camera. I've got to get this one. Oh, there's one I haven't seen. Get a picture. Oh my God, I can't believe I came out here and don't have my camera.
Yeah.
Quick, I gotta paint it. Get my easel.
Draw it with the pressure washer.
He didn't have to make them so beautiful. He really didn't, but what else could he do? Everything that he has created is beautiful. That's part of who he is.
Yeah. And he didn't have to make flowers smell so good.
Right.
They're pretty and they smell good. Yep.
Or the colors, just the colors.
Yeah, it really is. Makes you think about him an awful lot when you're surrounded by his handiwork.
Just as diverse as nature is, we're very diverse.
Oh, true.
Oh, George got a hand up.
Good, George.
Yeah, I'd like to share something that happened to me recently, and it just blew my mind because I'm out in the middle of the intercoastal here. That's a water body before you get to the ocean, and it was a beautiful day. The water was calm, and it was like 80 degrees, and all of a sudden I see this dorsal fin. And I go, uh-oh. And then I realized it wasn't a shark, it was a dolphin. And he was hunting for his food, and he swam around me for about, I'd say 5 or 10 minutes. And then I couldn't see him. But then there was a pelican circling overhead, and he was following the dolphin because I understand from one of the people that live there that if there's schools of fish and a dolphin are going after the fish, sometimes the fish jump out of the water and the pelicans can get them. And he was I could tell where he was because the pelican was circling overhead. It just blew my mind. I've never seen a dolphin in the wild, only at the zoo or your Sealand,
Oh.
SeaWorld, you know. So I don't know. I just thought that might bless people. It was really great.
You know, on that line, George, yesterday, I was taking a break from work and Charlie had been working outside. And so he had the outside gates open. We don't always have them both open. And you guys are aware that we have a tortoise that made a little tunnel outside one of our front gates. Well, he had the gates open and I opened the door to call him to see if he wanted to eat some lunch. And to my surprise, I see the tortoise across our backyard. And he goes onto the driveway and he starts going toward the car. And I'm like, Charlie, the tortoise is here. So he's like, you can't keep him in the yard. But he grew. And I was just so surprised to see him up in the backyard because that's a ways from where he usually is out in the front downhill. So that was kind of fun to see that. And it was just a blessing because it's just nature. It's just the way God designed things. He was curious. He came up. Charlie had to carefully put him in a bin and take him back down toward his home.
Have you
Yeah, he's a
named him
cute little
yet?
thing.
What?
Have you named him yet?
No. Mm-mm.
No, but yeah, he's a cute little thing. I reported it to the Florida Wildlife Federation because they say if you have a tortoise on your property, we would appreciate if you would let us know. So I did. I sent him a picture and I told
was a
him what
while
it is,
ago.
and that was
Yeah.
about 3 months ago now. So,
Hmm.
but he seems to be happy out there. It's right near the road, but he doesn't run across the road. So, I mean, these guys will actually give you a sign that you can post on your fence or something saying that, you know, we are housing a
Tortoise
know,
crossing.
an
Tortoise
invasive
crossing.
animal. But I don't think it's a good idea to let everybody in the neighborhood know that it's there because then somebody might try to kill it. So,
Aw.
But we've heard from other neighbors that he's come up in their yard too, and then, you know, just
yeah, he
moses
gets
his way
around.
back down.
He was running too when I came out. He was running down the driveway. I'm saying, man, you guys, how do you do that?
Yeah, I've never know. You know, you hear stories about a tortoise or a turtle, slow, you know, and he was like,
Yeah, they can run.
You know,
pretty
that's
good.
something.
Okay, share.
I've joined a group that volunteers at the Palm Beach Sheriff's Office. And what we do is a few hours a week, we drive around in one of the sheriff's cars and we just patrol the area, make sure that nobody needs help and that everything's safe for everybody.
Huh.
So I was at a meeting the other day and one of the ladies came up to me and she's an older lady. She's got a little bit of dementia and she talks nonstop. So came up and she said, I'm looking for a partner to drive. So once you're completely certified, maybe I can drive with you. So I said, well, I'm sorry, but God's my co-pilot. And I'm driving with God and I want things quiet because I drive, I pray for the area to make sure that God is taking care of it. So, so that's another thing God is to me. He's my co-pilot in the sheriff's car.
Huh.
That's funny.
I never heard of that, Share. What is that service called?
Cops, COPS,
Citizens on Patrol.
Yeah, we have them here.
is on patrol and I don't know. I think it's just Citizens on Patrol, but it's.
Yeah, citizens on patrol.
Yeah,
The special car looks like a sheriff's car and it has COP on the side of it and it
Right.
says citizens on
on
patrol.
patrol.
And it has
Yeah.
a red bar on it that they keep on all the time when they're driving around.
Yeah, so the yellow and white lights flash.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought that was you I saw in a cop car. I was saying, what did she do? Huh.
Every time you're in the neighborhood, every time we're in the neighborhood, we hear Bad boy, what you gonna do? Cares around.
Gee, oh, boy. Oh.
We're giving George a good laugh tonight, guys.
Oh, gosh. I'm getting a stitch.
It's good medicine.
Okay.